What's up, guys? MLB Corner Page here. As always, if you like what you see, like and subscribe. Follow us on Instagram and Twitter at MLB Corner Page. Link in the description. So we're going to actually go through Buster Olney's top 10 pitchers. Yesterday, we went through the best of the rest. I definitely got some feedback yesterday, too, saying that Buster Olney's list is a little suspect, and I'd have to say we agree. Before we get into this, I also want to tell you guys that we are going to be working with a media company here soon to help us with some of these videos. We're working hard at it, working with some of the editing. So, for instance, when we talk about Shane Bieber, we'll be able to see clips of Shane Bieber, make this a little more engaging for you. But for now, we're going to, just jump right into it. So, he's got Bieber at number 10. As in my video yesterday, I said that I would rather have Greinke in the top 10 than Bieber. Bieber's a good pitcher, though. I'm not going to say he's not, but I think Greinke's going to have a little more run support, and I think the Indians could even actually end up trading Clevenger in some kind of move. Could trade Lindor. So it's Bieber. I don't know if Bieber's a true number one ace if something were to happen.
I think the thing about Bieber is, don't get me wrong, he's good, but he's kind of like Soroka, for instance, really young, hasn't had a lot of time to prove just yet. He did have a huge strikeout to walk ratio last year, which was great, but I just don't think Bieber has immersed himself in the top 10.
Right.
I think honorable mention, best of the rest is where he is right now. I think this year's his proving point. I mean, fourth in the Cy Young voting last year was great, but I think there's people who have proven themselves year in year again who just have the upper hand on him.
The one thing I kind of noticed when I watch Bieber is that he doesn't really throw a lot of balls. Like, all his pitches are, right in the strike zone. Now, he does make you miss, don't get me wrong, but I think he just needs to work a little bit at, throwing outside of the strike zone, throwing more pitches, if that makes sense. Like, he stays right there, and that's kind of dangerous. But he's definitely a guy I would take in the 6th, 7th, 8th round if we were in a fantasy draft. His production is good, but he's not a top 10 overall pitcher yet, I don't think.
Not just yet. Who we have at number 10 actually?
It was Greinke at number 10.
Greinke?
Yeah, I think he's going to have a little more run support, like we mentioned yesterday. I think he's going to have to step up. He's the number 2 pitcher now without Cole, but I think that he can do it. I really do.
I mean, he finished 18-5 last year, and I mean, the biggest thing we've noticed about Greinke over the last few years is his postseason. He just has not produced in the postseason, and we both agree he's a future Hall of Famer. We would like to think, at least, and I mean, having a 3-6 record in the postseason is pretty rough. So I'd like to see him step up this year and really, when they make the postseason, make a run. I mean, he's got to get a few postseason wins under his belt.
Yeah, for sure. We agree with that 100%. So number 10, we've got Greinke replacing Bieber. Number 9, we've got Mike Clevenger. Now, Mike Clevenger is definitely a top 10 pitcher. Our only concern here is that I think he's going to get traded. I do. They already traded Kluber. He's the number 1 guy now. If they do trade him, we don't know where he's going to go. Is more of a thing. That's why he's not higher up on the list. But he's definitely in the top 10.
Yeah, I mean, I think the other thing is, we didn't see a full season from him last year, battling injuries. I think the biggest thing is when he came in, he produced.
Yeah.
So if he can do that, no matter where he ends up, he can make it, a contender.
Yeah, absolutely.
One of the best teams. I mean,
absolutely.
He's one of those pitchers. He's a true ace pretty much anywhere he goes. So I'm excited to see where he does land if he leaves. And if not, I mean, Cleveland has a nice rotation forming up. Really surprised they got rid of Kluber.
Not much at all.
Yeah, exactly. So I think Clevenger absolutely a lock top 10 right there at number 9. We could see even more from him this year.
Yeah. I mean, he's got to be in the top 10, though. There's no doubt about it. The stuff is just nasty.
And fun fact, he only gave up 10 home runs last year, which is pretty big.
That's huge.
Especially in an AL division that's pretty competitive.
Yeah, absolutely.
When you're playing guys like the Twins a lot who lead the league in home runs,
He's a beast, guys. I love how open he's been about the whole Astros thing, too. He's so vocal, I would definitely expect some balls to be thrown their way from Clevenger this year.
Absolutely.
Charlie Morton at 8, we don't agree with. Even though I do like Morton, but I think 36, he's starting to
He's showing some age.
He's showing some age. He's got great run support. Don't get me wrong. The Rays are a great team, but he's just kind of like a Mr. Reliable type pitcher, and I think some of these younger guys are starting to move up a little bit. Morton's in the top 20, number 8. That's a little bold.
Yeah, I would have to agree there. I mean, definitely top 20. He's one of those guys, like you said, Mr. Reliable. He's a great for contender teams. He's a great 2 or 3 guy.
Yeah.
But I don't think 8 is fair enough. I don't think he's quite there anymore. A few years back, I might have argued a little harder on that, but I think he's definitely a lock top 20, just not quite where Buster put him at 8. We actually have Walker Buehler there.
Yeah, we do.
I mean, we're talking about a guy who's young and dependable. His strikeout to walk ratio is through the roof at a 5.8. I mean, that's just incredible to be that young and already producing like that. He was obviously mentioned in a lot of the Cy Young ballots, so we have him at a lock number 8 with 14 wins last year.
Yeah, the only concern I have with the Dodgers, it's the Dodgers as a whole. Buehler is nasty. Like, I love watching Buehler pitch, but I noticed last year Buehler, Ryu, Kershaw, like it seemed like they didn't really trust their bullpen. Like I saw some games where they were up 6-1 and Buehler was still pitching in the 8th inning. That was the only thing I think hurt him a little bit. Like if their bullpen's better, they did sign Trennan, however you want to say his name, from Oakland. So if their bullpen's better, I think he gets even more wins. Like I think the 14 wins is where he just stayed in some games a little longer than he should have.
And the thing about Walker, I will say, I think this is the young man that they're going to count on in the future, and I think he is the reason they were comfortable with letting Ryu sign somewhere else.
I agree.
Had he not produced over the last 2 years like he has, there's no way Ryu's gone. I mean, you're talking about someone who was right there in the Cy Young running as well, and they just let him sign for bigger money.
Yeah,
I think they're counting on this guy in the future.
So, I think deservingly so.
Yeah,
he's got at number 8. So Buster's got him at 7. Not that big a deal, but he's our 8th pitcher. He's got Flaherty here at 6, and we also bumped him down 1. Flaherty is only 24 years old and looks
promising.
After the All-Star break, he had a .91 ERA, allowing 48 hits after the whole All-Star break. Like that's unheard of, really. He's going to challenge for the top spot this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And, the thing I like about Flaherty, like you said, he's only 24 years old. He didn't necessarily have the best postseason per se, but he did bounce back against the Braves in that second game. Was that Game 7 that he started? Yeah, Game 7.
Yeah.
And just Game 5. Excuse me.
Yeah, for some reason I thought it was 6, but I know the game you mentioned it. He came up big for sure.
Either way, I mean, the thing about Flaherty is he's young, he's dependable, and he's a guy that with Adam Wainwright getting up there, he's going to come in and he's going to really help that young core grow. So
yeah, for sure, absolutely.
We have him at 7 actually. Buster at 6,
and he, like I said, guys, he could be much further up the list. We've got him at 7. It wouldn't be shocking me if he gets in that top 5.
Yeah, I think he definitely does. It's one of those things he just hasn't had enough time to prove it. And, we've seen some breakout stars take a jump back in their second year. So we don't want to overpromise, but I think that's a safe bet is getting into the top 5.
Yeah, absolutely. So he has Strasburg at 4. We've got Strasburg at 6. World Series MVP for sure, 18-6 record.
I think he just inflated him a little bit. Like you said, 18-6. He's a World Series MVP, but he battled. I mean, he struggled in the early season. Had he showed up all season and in the regular season like he did in the postseason, I think he'd be a safer bet at 4 or 5. But I just think he needs to prove himself throughout the year, be more reliable throughout the year to really get up here.
Yeah, absolutely. I just couldn't put him above Scherzer either. We've got we've got him at the 4th spot. Strasburg too. Everybody knows he throws hard. He's got a great curveball. and everything, but we got to see a full season too.
Yeah. And here's the thing about both Nationals pitchers while we're on the topic. I don't think they're going to have as much run support this year without Rendon.
That's true.
So it's going to be interesting to see how, if these guys have to go an inning longer to relieve the stress on the bullpen, what's going to happen?
Yeah, absolutely. So moving right along here.
So Strasburg at 6.
He's got Scherzer at 5. I don't know what the world Buster Olney's thinking here. We've got Ryu at 5. Ryu went to Toronto. Is Toronto as good as LA? No, but he's in a much bigger ballpark. He's a contact hitter. He's a ground out. I apologize. A ground out, fly ball type pitcher. And plus, those guys in the AL East never saw Ryu.
Right.
They're going to see him fresh. Like he's a new guy in the division.
Yeah, I mean, he was second in the Cy Young ballot. I mean, the thing I like about Ryu, like you said, he's a contact hitter or pitcher. Dang, you got me saying now.
But not even in the best of the rest. Like, I don't know what Buster Olney's looking at.
But the thing I think is interesting about Ryu is he's really comparable to a guy like Greg Maddux, who he's not going to strike out a whole lot of batters, but he's going to stay ahead in the count. He's going to, have really good command, and he's going to force people to ground out, pop up.
Yep.
And, in a bigger ballpark, that's going to be perfect for him to stop.
Yeah, I think he's definitely
So I think he only gets better.
I think me too. I think that was a great sign by Toronto. So we're in that top 4. We got Scherzer at 4, and Scherzer could easily be a little higher on the list, but I just think that, like you mentioned, the run support, and I think that Nationals as a team take a little bit of a step back this year. It's a little bit of a rebuilding year for them.
Yeah. The other thing about Scherzer, 11-7 last year. I think win-loss, that's obviously a step back. But I think that was just, he battled a few injuries. Run support was in a good spot. It's going to be interesting to see how it is this year. The biggest thing from Scherzer is, postseason. If he can, if they get back to postseason, you need a guy like him to step up. You're, a number one guy in an organization. You got to have a much better postseason and not put it on one of your younger guys like Strasburg.
For sure, absolutely, guys. I think in my lifetime, though, Scherzer could be the best free agent signing I've ever seen for Washington. He really could.
2-time Cy Young.
2-time Cy Young winner. Now he's got a World Series in him.
So we have him locked at number 4.
Number 4, yeah. So Buster at number 3, Scott Verlander, and I totally agree at number 3.
Yeah.
Verlander, Cy Young winner. I think he's going to have another big year. I don't think any of that's really going to affect him as far as the scandal goes. Like, the dude just knows how to pitch as long as he's been around. So he'll be 37 in February, but freakish work ethic, just crazy. He's been around, guys. Like, he knows what he's doing.
And the thing I like about Verlander is kind of like what you said. I don't think it's going to faze him whatsoever. The reason I say that is, he's super mature. He's 37 years old. He's got a couple rings, Cy Young winner. I don't see a scandal like this. The only thing I could see is, if there happened to be some kind of postseason ban, I think that's a guy that demands a trade. Other than that, he's going to go win ball games wherever he is.
Yeah.
Look what he did in Detroit. And they weren't even a contender for a little while, and then he made them one. So he's going to be fine. He's definitely a lock at number 3.
Yeah, I think he's got a real shot at 300 wins if he has another 20 games.
Absolutely.
So
with the run support in Houston, I just don't see how he doesn't get another 20 win season.
Yeah, and he'll be right there in the Cy Young competition again.
Yeah. So
here's the big one here, guys. Who is the best pitcher in New York? That is going to be the title of this video. The best pitcher in New York. DeGrom or Cole? I took DeGrom, 2-time Cy Young winner. Just nasty. Now, 11 wins is not the best, but as much as I hate to say it, the Mets bullpen is going to be better. I think he's going to probably get closer to that 16, 17.
Well, let me add, just while you're talking about it, 11 wins doesn't look great. What was it, 11-8? Here's the thing, though. If he is on any other roster besides New York, the New York Mets per se, he's going to be a 20-win kind of pitcher.
Yeah.
At least 15 to 18.
Yeah.
But New York Mets just have a way of losing ball games. And It's unfortunate, but it's true. But their bullpen should step up. You got Lugo, you got Betances. So, I mean, he's in a good spot this year. I would just like to see him win a couple more games. And unfortunately, I just don't know how consistent they can be with their lineup. They don't have a whole lot of run support anymore.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. The other thing too, I'm getting a sense that Syndergaard's going to get traded. I can totally see Syndergaard go out to an Angels team or something like that. So then DeGrom would probably have a little more on it than usual.
Yeah.
So I'll give you that. I've got DeGrom at number 1. Buster Olney has Garrett Cole at number 1. We're not disagreeing too hard on this stuff.
It can go either way. It surely can. I think the thing that gives DeGrom the upper hand right now is he's a 2-time Cy Young winner, a little bit better ERA. Now Garrett Cole is in New York. Obviously, he's going to have a lot on his plate. A great run support, but a lot on his plate. I mean, that rotation outside of him and Cervino, I'm not saying it's a bad rotation by any means. It's a great rotation, but it can be a little inconsistent. So I want to see him step up in a big way and prove us wrong and be the true number 1. Yeah. But I think DeGrom is just a lock at number 1 right now. You could interchange either one, but DeGrom has the upper hand as of now.
We agree. So with that being said, taking Garrett Cole, DeGrom, Verlander, or Scherzer with one of your top pitcher, you're going to be fine. I think those top 4 guys should be a lock in the top 4. I don't know why Buster only put Strasburg that high. We're going with Scherzer. You think that top 4, though, Cole, DeGrom, Scherzer, and Verlander is pretty solid?
It's very solid. I'll throw one in there that I think you get interchange with at least Verlander and Scherzer, and that's Ryu.
Right, for sure.
I cannot believe Buster did not put Ryu in the top 10. That just baffles me. I think that's absurd. I think he needs to do a little more research. Something's just wrong with that. I mean, this is a guy that has proved to step up in the organization, has really taken the reins from Clayton Kershaw, and finished number 2 in the Cy Young. I memean, you've got Garrett Cole and Verlander both in your top 3 who were 1 and 2 in the Cy Young. Yeah. Why is Ryu not in the conversation of the top 10? That just it's absurd. Yeah. So I'm saying if you're going to take anyone outside of the 4 we just named, Ryu's your bet.
Yeah, I got you. 100% agree. So if you think that we were critical of Buster Olney's top 10 pitchers, just wait till you get to catchers because it was way out of whack. So his top 3, not bad, but after that, pretty wild. So we're gonna we really appreciate it, guys. Like we said, we are going to be working a lot harder on these videos. This media company we're going to be working with is going to be pretty legit. I think I'm pretty excited to show you what we can do.
Yeah, help us out, spread the word. MLB Corner page. Get all your friends to check us out on obviously YouTube, Instagram, Twitter. Spread the word. We're going to have a couple more giveaways coming down the pipe here soon, so stay tuned. Baseball season is coming up soon, and we're very excited. As always, guys, like, share, and follow, and we'll see you next week.
Happy Valentine's Day. Take care.